when we started. You know?
Yeah, right?
Yes.
Hi, I'm Austin Earthling.
I'm Taylor Batten, and welcome to the Kitchen Table Podcast.
We're here to motivate, educate, and relate to you guys, sharing our stories, helping you get 1% better in all areas of your life.
Yes, sir.
Those of you watching on YouTube Live, you get 2 episodes in one night. Yeah, we got some stuff going on the next couple weeks, so we had to record 2 episodes in one night. So honestly, the challenge last week for you listening on Spotify, Apple, or Google, or wherever you listen to podcasts, Anchor, we talked about making people feel important and giving them a positive quote or something to make them feel empowered, to help them be motivated and reinvigorate that persistence and the activation in order to have high intensity for the motivation, whether that's a coach, whether that's a classroom setting, or that is a life setting as a business or team member. So we're going to build on that this week and talk about influencing decisions and how to do that a little bit more crystal clear and get people to not only make decisions quicker, but make ones that are going to help them get 1% better. The quote of the week this week is from success.com, and it's by Kerry Russell. It says, sometimes it's the smallest decisions that can change your life forever. I think that's really important. I'll say it one more time again, change your life forever. I think that's important because the big decisions are actually the easy ones. The day-to-day decisions we don't think are the easy ones, or we think they are the easy ones, but they're the hard ones. If you really want to get nitty and gritty. Because the hard ones we think it's going to change our life, right? But you got to that point because of those little decisions, whether it's good or bad.
Yes.
So the little decisions should be more important than the big decisions, right? Whatever we do today influences our tomorrow.
Yeah.
That's why
For sure.
if you don't have motivation, that's why we always say that you're screwed from the start, because you don't care. Your decisions are not going to be to better whatever it is. In your instance, your case in high school, you didn't care about school. You weren't going to spend the time on it outside of class, right?
Correct.
Whereas now you want to have that retirement at some point, so you're working to get towards that. I want to make it to the NFL in order to propel my life forward, so I'm working to do that.
Yeah. And that like was really like non-negotiable. Like I never thought of dropping out of school, but just like school never mattered. I'd rather go.
You don't want to be great at it.
Yeah.
You don't want to excel. You just wanted to get it and move on.
Yeah, and like acing a midterm in biology and science, like never excited me. Like, and but like the camaraderie, you're just going and talking to friends, and that like again, like that's what I miss. Like that's also the cool stuff from college that I miss is I just miss with more relationships than anything else. Yeah. And like that's the only thing that like really like pushed me through school was the relationships,
which helped you to become hopefully a little wiser and a little better. And you got to deal with people every day, so it probably helped your decision making, honestly. Yeah.
And then like also like especially working with kids that struggle in school or behind in school and that, like looking in that and knowing that like when kids ask me like anything school related, I'm like, dude. I was like, I barely made it through. Like I was like,
but you're hoping to make good decisions at least.
Yeah, and that like I was pushing through. Like I want them to at least have a high school diploma. And a lot of kids are like, nah, after this, I'm dropping out. And like, and then you have to like redirect them and like, okay, you can drop out, but this is also your statistics of like success.
You gotta let them know what some possible consequences might be.
Yeah. I was like, yes. There's the outliers that were like people know school's not for them and still going to be successful and dropping out of high school. Yeah. But for the 99.74% of people, like it's not the case.
Hard to do. Yeah. You know what else would be a great decision? If people went and used the link that we are giving them to get 15% off at Targo. Let me tell you, that is a decision that will definitely help you be better. Taylor's about to do it.
I need to get some more.
Because it's going to help you recover quicker. It tastes great. Even if you don't get great, fine. Still mad about that.
Yeah.
3 weeks in, I'm still mad.
Right.
The Targa will help you recover
Yes.
faster. You'll feel more energized.
I need to get some more. I plan on ordering some more tonight. That way, because I'm taking this pretty much this whole next week off.
So you get it when you're back.
Yeah. So I'll be here when I'm back.
Yeah. It'll help you, because you're probably going to be a little sore too, so it'll help you recover faster, get that glycogen back.
Yeah.
It's all natural ingredients too.
Who are you, anyway, you can continue. Well,
no,
I'll ask a question after we go through the ad.
We're going to go through that before the
That's huge. Oh, never mind. Well, it's a dumb question now because we're ahead, and then when people listen to this, it'll be after. But it'll be in testimony because they'll know. Who do you want to win the Super Bowl? Okay, because now in time for people that are listening right now, it is currently after the Super Bowl has happened.
Yes.
So this is in time.
We're gonna see what happens.
Yes.
I want Matthew Stafford to win a Super Bowl.
Why?
Matthew Stafford is been stuck with the Lions. I just think he's way better than people talk about the sidearm throws, no look throws. Matthew Stafford's been doing that for 10 years. Now Patrick Mahomes does, and everybody's like, wow. But Aaron Rodgers goes on the Pat McAfee show and says, hey, you know Stafford's been doing this forever, right? I just love Stafford, and there's other reasons, but I'm not going to go into it on the podcast right now.
Yeah. You're going to go to the rabbit hole.
We're not going to go down that. In a positive note, I want the Rams to do well because I like Matthew Stafford. I think it'll be a great game. And I think the Bengals could possibly pull it out. But I think if you look on paper, the Rams are a better team.
All around. Yeah.
But the Bengals have a lot of motivation, and everybody wants the Bengals to win. Honestly, both uniforms are pretty cool.
Yeah.
But the Rams are playing in their home stadium, and the Bucs did that last year and won, so they're probably going to win.
That's the only thing I don't like. I know it's already picked out, but that's crazy that you got to go to the Super Bowl and you play in your home stadium.
Yeah, they're in the away locker room though. Isn't that funny? Also, you know tickets are like $3,000.
That's
the average person came to see their favorite team play.
Right.
Which is crazy. $3,000 for a game, even in the very top of the stadium. How dumb is that?
Right.
Talk about bad decisions.
Right. But also then, people have a lot of money just throw around.
Yeah, but those who don't,
yeah, but that's
just watch on TV. Think about how much inflation is going up. It's bull crap.
Right, but they're not going to give them one for $150.
No, I understand that. I understand it, but
it just comes with they're going to exploit what they can.
I'm just trying to think
they're not going to give stuff away. If someone wants to pay three rings,
bad decision, man. Unless they got money.
Yes,
but make $300,000 fine.
Again, people can do whatever they want with their money.
Yeah, they can.
And a lot of people have that kind of F around money.
They do.
In the grand scheme of things, a lot of people, we always talk about, people living in poor situations and, bringing, up the overall decency of human life, in the United States, but all over the world and that. But in general, over a whole thing, we're in, people are living, with the most amount of things, they were living in the highest,
there's things shouldn't matter.
Yes, first world, we have most assets and that, and people in the top, I won't say top percent because that wouldn't be it, but people just have good abilities to use their money, especially people. I just see in the crypto world, a lot of people just have F around money.
Yeah.
And that,
right now.
But yeah, so you want the Rams to win?
Yeah, I want the Rams.
And that big Bengals fan.
I know you want the Bengals.
Yes, because I shared on Facebook the one I don't know the name, but
Uzma.
Yeah, I said we were gonna win it for Harambe, and I was I've been saying this for a month now. They're gonna win it.
Yeah. Anyways,
I only had a bigger following.
That's a bad rabbit hole. That's a bad rabbit hole to go down. Bad rabbit hole.
Yes, I don't know. I'm excited for the game.
Yeah, it'd be good.
Okay.
I think it'd be interesting. I'm honestly more intrigued with just hanging out with people this year. I really.
Yeah.
I honestly hate both teams. If you want me to be honest, I hate both teams. So
You don't hate them.
I do. Okay, you're right. I just
you would play for either one. If they called you up,
well, yeah.
you're like, hey, I'm gonna kick in the
I
Super
wanted
Bowl.
to see Chiefs Packers.
No one wants to see that.
Everybody wants to see that. Influencing a decision is to affect or alter by indirect or intangible means. Okay, so either you're purposely doing it or accidentally
Like,
altering somebody's mind or changing it, which we got a whole episode on that. But we're going to mainly be talking about how to influence in a positive way. So, anyways, decisions this week.
Yeah.
What do we got? Anything big? I don't. Never mind.
That's a big I don't.
I just asked you, and then I was like thinking of myself because I was like, I should probably respond after him, and it just came out. Like I was ready. So I apologize for interrupting you.
It is like it's very loud and it's well,
Mine. I just got a lot of big ones. I just feel like coming up, but I'm gonna let you answer because I asked.
For me, I don't know if I really have any big ones, like huge ones. I need to start figuring out what living situation is gonna look like.
That is a big one.
And that, but again, like, I want to move. I want to move south, but I really like the stability that comes with being here. But again, it just comes back, like we talked about like last time, like comes back to like risk and all that. Because moving away from everything is like a risky situation, like very like scary, and that. So I think that's probably my big decision on the horizon is kind of like figuring that out. But again, like that won't even coming to Vegas for your bachelor party. So like I want to see what that looks like, and that going down to Florida this past week will play a big influence on how I feel in the area that we're going. And so it's a lot of just vibes and just praying.
Yeah, I've been thinking a lot about that because obviously my fiance and I will be married and we both could have jobs, whatever. But that's my big decisions. If football doesn't work, what's next, right? Do I quit my job? Do we move away? Do we explore? Do we travel? Do we move somewhere else for a couple years and do our careers there? And one of the big discussions is everybody who we interact with, for the most part, is in this general vicinity, right? So that's hard, and I keep saying all the time, like, why would we ever want to leave this place? Like, our best friends are here. Like, and then we build more relationships at church. Like, we're knowing more and more people, and then it's like, okay, if you have a small business here and we set up that, like, you can make a great living here. It's cheap to live, great schools, all that kind of stuff. And then it's like, yeah, you have a bad winter, but it's nice to have 4 seasons. Easy to travel places if you want, but then it's also like, you know what, you can keep your old friends, you can move somewhere and make new ones. And while you're young, you gotta travel. And we both have always said we don't want to live where we live now. So I think we're gonna move.
You can always move back.
Exactly. I mean, it's a couple of years just to see how it goes. Relationships can still be grown in distance. We had our relationship was distant for 2/3 of our relationship. Literally, we were together at the very start, and we were together at the very end until we got engaged. I mean, now we're obviously we're.
We were talking there. I thought you were talking about our relationship. I was like,
no.
Ours
too, though. I mean, well, at the beginning, I didn't even know you. Well, I guess it did, but you moved away for a brief. Well, I moved away actually for a brief period. But I think big decisions. Again, we look at all those, and I literally wrote in my journal the other day. Stop thinking about the future. Last episode, I talked about you need to be 5 steps ahead. Sometimes you gotta get rid of it, though. And I said that in the episode because sometimes you can't sleep. You gotta have some sort of peace of mind of, hey, you know what? Like you said, you're praying about it. God will take over. You'll be where you're supposed to be if you do the right things. So just keep trying to do the right things every single day. and then it'll all be okay.
Mm-hmm.
But the big thing I think about is I'm not very realistic when it comes to my life. I just search for something big, and I'm like, you know what? Who cares? And it used to be called the effort mode, but I reflected this last couple of weeks, and it's a motivational mode. It's more like, don't doubt me. Like, I'm gonna do this. Like, watch me, type of deal. A lot easier said than done. But I think you always got to sleep on it and discern about it.
Yeah, I'd say like you can always think 5 steps ahead, but it's always gonna be like changing.
Yeah. Also, I just want to be clear for the audience. I looked up a bunch of stuff on Google and websites about how to influence people's decisions better. I basically found a melting pot of answers. Everybody's different. Everybody has their own little tick. So we're just gonna kind of include the how to do it better with our experiences and what we found in our lives, and a couple of things I found on the internet that I wrote down. But it's just going to be included one big episode tonight because it's too hard to say this is the success formula.
Yeah.
We should have been at this should have been at the start, probably. So I apologize, audience.
Another decision that I have been on the fence for probably the last 2 weeks is if I want to get my tattoos removed, like my finger tattoos. I just really don't like the placement anymore.
You're gonna put them on your?
No, I would just get them removed. I wouldn't get them again. I mean the cross, yes, but no, wrist would probably stay, but just my fingers, my elephant, and that. I don't know why.
Let me see him. I
don't know if I get the turn around. So like the cross one isn't so bad, but I still don't. I kind of just got them on the whim when I first got them because I got them with my God's Fair, the highs and lows, which is this one is the one I really wanted, and then these were kind of like.
Is the other one on your left shoulder too?
Right. Yeah, right tricep. No, I mean those two stayed, but I kind of think
why? Or not why? when I mean.
I don't know. Probably not till after probably like April, May. So a few months from now. I want to go in and get an appointment and just see what it would look like to get removed. I don't know what it takes. I really didn't. I looked up places that do it, but I haven't called or anything. I just didn't like thinking about it.
It's weird because I was talking about the discerning and what, like, something had to lead you to be either you can call it motivated or bring it into your brain or something.
There is a reason.
And then you think about it. So whatever that reason is, you start thinking about it, you sleep on it, and then you keep thinking about it, and then it's either you pull the trigger or you don't, It's very interesting works and how we process things. That's what I did find on the internet, is that it's super important to process things and not jump to a conclusion, or in my case, I don't even know my future, right? So why jump to a conclusion? Just stay present, and whatever you feel, if you keep feeling that motion, now it's all right, I keep feeling that, there's a reason, so write it down, maybe you see it in your everyday life, and then gives you even more conviction to act upon it. Because I think a lot of us, again, big decisions, we always hesitate, right? Am I making the right decision? Should I do this instead? If we're just like, I'm all in on this decision, like you're convicted in it and you believe in it, then it doesn't matter, right? Whether you so-called chose the right one because you believe you're choosing the right one and you've done your research per se on yourself, then you're good, right? So I don't mean to go all in, like just throw your chips in, or go all in meaning you can't go out of it, right? But if you're all in, you got to be okay with your decision. Otherwise, you're going to be living in regret or fear. I mean, that's the big thing that you say, people live in fear.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're living in regret or fear, then you're not all in your decision.
Yeah.
You got to be okay with whatever you choose.
Yeah. Like for me, like I don't regret getting my tattoos at all. And but now is it like time to maybe move on?
Yeah.
So it
wasn't maybe a bad decision. It's just and times have changed.
Yeah, and this hasn't even been made.
It's like the world. That's what we do with evolution. Sorry, this is a rant. Humans do things. Literally, Joe Rogan's podcast, I was like, 6 months ago. It was a great podcast episode. Talking about how technology is going to change. We just had this conversation. Right. Technology is going to change. Carbon's going to go up, down, whatever. Human's going to go up, down, whatever. All we're going to do is solve some other problem, create a new one. Solve another one, create a new one. That's what we're going to do. That's what humans do. So to say you're in the wrong in your decision, you can't say that. Because you might not have known better, might not have thought it through, might have thought it was the best decision at the time, and now it's not. Okay, great. Did that. Now doing this. Moving on.
Just move on.
Next, yes, great.
That's what we tell the juvenile delinquents all the time. Is like, yes, you made a mistake. Yes, you got here. It sucks. But now it's time to.
And you know what?
Adjust.
And that's the problem.
Improve.
Is either one, you're thinking, oh, are they going to be mad at me? Or two, they're thinking, oh my gosh, he's so mean, this, that, and they hold a grudge. And then nobody can agree to disagree. And now I'm really going on a rant. Like, that's the problem with the world, is we can't be okay with what people's decision, whatever they make, right? If you would have got a tattoo in the 80s, people would be like, wow, that guy's a thug, right? Now people get tattoos our age and it's like no big deal.
Right.
You used to be able to not get a job if you can see a tattoo on it in certain jobs, which is ridiculous, right? I purposely have my tattoo. I have it so people can see it. Literally.
What's crazy? No, people still don't know. For a few people,
like, yours are really small.
I have my wrist when they come on. What's that?
Yeah, I suppose. It's also like if you look at it quickly, you know, like, they can't read it. You know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying. It's like if you want. And these are not hidden. You can see these plain day.
Yeah, it's just
because they're small, like.
It's just crazy to me how people judge other people's decisions when they have no idea. Mm-hmm. Or they think it's wrong and they have no idea. Mm-hmm. Literally look at politics. It's just some of it, we can't agree to disagree. We don't influence decisions for people's best. We influence decisions for our best. And I'm awful at that. I am a great persuader to get what I want. It's called manipulation.
Yeah. That was exactly what I said. And that's what we talk about all the time. Again, like.
Which is great because YOLO, right? You only live once.
Yeah.
But on the other end, you're in your own body, you only live once. Mm-hmm. So when we agree to disagree, it's like somebody's got to give, or I just got to do our own thing, move on.
I think manipulation plays a part in the world. I think it depends. Are you doing it for the right reasons? Like again, like me thinking like you can manipulate.
Now we're really right. Manipulate. That's different than manipulating a country to go to war.
Yes.
I agree.
You can manipulate. Yeah. Oh, country to go to war. Yes.
Well, but if you're lying or something that's going to be.
Yes. Or like, anyways, I was like, where you're like manipulating like a 10-year-old to eat his vegetables.
Yeah, that's good, right?
Yeah.
You're actually helping.
And then,
but manipulating somebody to rob.
I like going to war, and I think about that is how like China and Russia have like infestated like Twitter and like social media, all like, and just have like bots, and that is essentially just like trying to create chaos.
There's so many bots on Twitter. You know that? It's crazy.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. There's more bots than there are actual people.
It's wild.
Yeah.
Also, I had a famous author follow me on Twitter the other day. No joke.
Yeah.
Awesome. He does like motivation stuff, and a lot of he's a sports psychologist. Awesome. It's Dr. Jim Afrino.
Okay.
Super cool.
You're a shout?
I didn't get a shout out or give him a shout out. No, but I am now.
I'm in a little like thanks for the follow. Like would love to connect sometime. Little DM. You even know how to work the DMs?
Yeah, I know how to work the DMs. I'm not an idiot.
Hey,
I can do that. I can barely turn my computer on, but I can send a DM, baby. That's how I got my wife. That's a true story. That's not the way I would have thought I'd go about it, but it technically went that way. And I even gave her my number. First time we went out, she bought me a drink. Backwards. Anyways, so also I learned last week, I was listening to a podcast. We listen to a lot of podcasts, guys. Everything is, we've said everything in this episode has been from a podcast this last week that we've said.
No.
Pretty much. Except for your job thing.
Just no.
Anyways, for me it has. You know, it's good to disagree. People think disagreeing is bad. If you never disagree, you're always content. Nothing ever changes. The world's just, oh yeah, blah, blah, blah. Disagreement is what gets things done.
Yeah.
That's why I said, like, we're going to start having business meetings, Taylor and I.
Well, disagreement is one thing. It's the next thing to take into like an argument.
Yes.
And
but having conversation and flow and
yeah,
listening and generating ideas, not giving, let's say generating ideas.
Because like, when I think like when you stand in an argument, you are demanding the other person is wrong.
Correct. And it could be
where like a disagreement is like you're just sharing opinions and facts.
Yeah, and then if you can talk that through, that's where like good things come.
Compromise, like yes,
it's like it's just like being a influence is kind of being a guide, right?
Yeah.
So you're trying to like I think of Everest all the time. So there's what's called Sherpas on Everest, right? Mm-hmm. They're the local people who have climbed Everest a million times. We never talk about them. They're literally experts. They have a PhD for Mount Everest. So they're guiding people to the top, right? Their job is to help people get up safely and down safely. Mm-hmm. They make the decisions, but there's a difference between a guide and somebody who is a dictator or a ruler, right? They're not saying, hey, you have to go up today. They leave it up to them. Hey, if you want to go up today, it's up to you, but the odds of you dying are 90% type deal, right? They're guiding them. They're just helping them, but they're not ruling their decision. Hey, you have to do this, otherwise you're not going to make it type deal. And maybe that's not a great example for being the kind of dictator. They're making people do what they aren't ready for, don't want to do is not what we're trying to do. We're trying to influence on how to make a better or wiser decision.
Yeah.
And I think you got to really listen to who those people are in your life. Again, if they're manipulating you or if they're really sincerely trying to help you for your own benefit, even if it might hurt them.
Yeah.
That's when you know you got a good group of people around you.
Mm-hmm.
Also, this is really I got two more big points. Number one is, do you think the past is important to think about making decisions, or should you forget about the past? Because it's about others' decisions and motivations and your own motivations.
I'd say I think the past matters.
Just because you can't just get rid of it.
Correct. And it's kind of like what's that phrase? Like if you don't know the past, or you don't know history, or you don't know the past, you're doing a repeat or whatever. Mm-hmm. And that
you also got to learn from others' mistakes too.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like can we just continue go in a cycle of like repeating?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So,
but yeah, so like I'd say the past matters. Like I don't think as us like America will go back into slavery. Mm-hmm. So knowing where we come from, like that. I mean, that's a pretty drastic thing to know in the past, and that. But yeah, I'd say like for me, I mean, again, it can't really go back because I'm not underage, but getting MIP, knowing that, making the wrong decision will affect your life.
Yeah, but also making that decision propelled your life to be better.
Yes. And that, or making the right decision in the past as well, and that.
Sometimes learning from the mistake is the best thing you can do.
Yes. My dad just had pneumonia and COVID at the same time, and so he's in the hospital for a little while and got out, and then had to go back because he had fluid on his lungs, and so now he actually just discharged yesterday. So he's in there for 3 or 4 days again. But having COVID and pneumonia, if he hadn't in the past year and a half lost it's crazy, 80 pounds or something like that. He's weighing 330 or something, and being diabetic, having heart failure, and having a replaced hip, all these stacked medical issues, and that he says he didn't think he would have made it. He would have had if he wouldn't have started watching his diet and getting around more. And that, so reflecting on that, just having those better decisions in your day to day, and that can really affect your future.
Which I think is, if we
again, sorry,
go ahead.
I'll just revert right back to the quote of the week, and that were small decisions.
Yeah, that's what I was going to talk about actually.
Really?
But I think it's kind of confusing because I think you want to win the big battles, not the small ones, right? You want to win the war, but in order to do that, those everyday battles matter. So your vision should be on winning the long battle or the big war, whatever it is. So that's where you should be. That's the goal, but you should be thinking in present time about how to win the current battle. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Cause like
that's my last thing. Making better decisions.
Yeah.
You really got to think present, but have a vision of long term. Again, have that plan of where you're going to go if such and such might happen. Because like Navy SEALs, they're always ready. No matter what happens, they have something. They have a team that they can rely on. That they're all trying to make the same decision. Again, you got to have communication, all the other stuff we've talked about, right? But to strictly have better decisions, you got to be very present. Because that's what matters most, is the one right in front of you. You got to open one door before you can open the other one, right? Don't worry about, you're in a maze in a movie, don't worry about the serpents on the left. When you're on the right-hand side, you still got to get out of the water, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I'd say, dang, I definitely forgot. Talking about, you got to not allow yourself to execute on the excuses.
Yeah.
And that, like,
you gotta be realistic.
Yes, if you plan to like work out after work and that, then you work out, like your end of your day comes and you were getting to go to the gym, but you had a long day, so you're like, I can just miss today.
Mm-hmm.
And then it ends up being a month, ends up being 6 months, and then you look back and you're like, wow, like how did I get here?
Yeah.
And that, or you end up like eating extra slice of cake, and that, or just taking a nibble, just one bite.
What's that? Into 3. Then you got the whole cake on, and every day for a week you're having cake.
Gosh, who's the actor that does that? Where he's like,
he's
like meal prepping and or something like that. And he's like, he has his dessert for tomorrow prep. And he's like, just one bite.
And then he's so you gotta have that. This is a good point, because in decisions you gotta have self-control.
Yeah.
You do, because otherwise, if you let that self-control go, it's gonna turn into a habit. Next thing you know, you're down the rabbit hole again. Right? So you got to be able to get yourself, or have a method to get yourself out of it. And the best way to get out of it is to not get in it. But I mean, other ways, again, something bad will happen, or something will click, or you'll reflect on it. There are all ways to get out of it.
I'm yawning like.
I don't know. I'm actually, that's all I got for this. For this episode. It's very tough to talk about decisions. Everybody's got their own life and circumstances. Everybody has their own rabbit holes.
I'd say also, like, when you're influencing decisions, either in yourself or others, is having a relationship with those people.
Or somebody you can at least talk to about it. Because it's easier, like I was talking to my fiance today, and I just like let out like what I needed to like what I wrote down this week. I felt so much better about my direction. It's like your own personal therapy. Again, there's something to always get you out of the rabbit hole as long as you know yourself. So I also think maybe looking within yourself, or even meditating. I have added on our sheet a lesson about meditating, because let me tell you, I've been reading a book. It's called Unplugged. Great meditation helps so much. That's all I'm going to say.
Do you think you should meditate like in the morning? Or
the best times to meditate are right in the morning when you wake up, or right before you go to bed.
Okay.
That's when your brain is basically most active. So that's just the best way to say it. But anyways, influencing decisions. Hopefully you guys make good decisions this week. Oh, we got a challenge. Shoot. We got a challenge. Challenge is going to be to have conviction on your decisions this week. Don't be thinking in the past about, should I have made this? Shouldn't I have made this? Reflect on something. Make the decision. Be proud of it. If you're going down a rabbit hole, get yourself out of it. Whatever you got to do, be convicted with it. That's all I got. That's my motivational speech for the week.
You kind of like just cut yourself out. You're like,
that's all I got. Also, we got We got 15 seconds until launch here.
Yeah. I'll just add in like staying focused on long term.
Yeah.
And that.
Focus on long term, but be present
Yeah.
on your decision.
Yeah. Because otherwise you're gonna lose track of where you're at and where you're going.
I like it. We will. Sorry.
No, you're good.
I was gonna say we will link all the stuff in the description. Hope you guys have a great week. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll catch you next week.
For sure. Have a great week. Love you. Bye.